How did you improvise when critical gear failed? We were 3 days into a patrol in Afghanistan when our radio died. Not just static or weak signal, completely dead. Circuit board fried by moisture that seeped through a crack in the casing. No communication meant no air support, no medevac, no backup. We were 12 soldiers alone in Taliban territory with no way to call home. Our communications sergeant, Jake Morrison, tried everything. Swapped batteries, cleaned connections, even took the whole unit apart with his multi-tool. Nothing worked. The main transmitter was toast. We're screwed, whispered Private Davis. Command expects check-ins every 6 hours. When we miss the next one, they'll assume we're captured or dead. That's when Morrison got creative. He remembered something from his electronics hobby back home. Started digging through our packs for random metal objects, found a mess kit, some wire from a broken field phone, and a hand crank radio from our emergency supplies. Began stripping copper wire and fashioning connections with electrical tape. What are you doing? I asked. Building a transmitter from scratch, he said, sweat dripping despite the cold mountain air. My grandfather was a ham radio operator, taught me the basics when I was 12. Took him 8 hours. Used the mess kit as a ground plane, wrapped wire around a tent pole for an antenna, and somehow rigged the hand crank radio to boost the signal. The contraption looked like something a mad scientist would build. Duct tape and wire holding everything together. But when Morrison cranked the handle and spoke into the improvised microphone, we heard static. Then a voice, faint but clear. Unknown station, this is Firebase Alpha. Identify yourself. Morrison nearly cried. Alpha, this is Patrol 7. We're alive, but our primary comms are down. Requesting immediate extraction. Command had been searching for us for 18 hours. Helicopters, ground teams, satellites, everything. They'd assumed the worst when we missed our scheduled check-in. The improvised radio worked for exactly 23 minutes, long enough to give our coordinates and status. Then it died too, probably from the strain of transmission. But those 23 minutes saved our lives. Chinook picked us up 4 hours later. Morrison got a commendation for innovative problem solving under pressure. The crazy part? His improvised radio actually worked better than some of our issued equipment. Signal reached base camp 30 miles away through mountainous terrain that usually blocked our regular radios. Morrison's grandfather had taught him that any metal object could become an antenna if you knew how to use it. Knowledge from the 1950s saved 12 soldiers in 2010. After that mission, Morrison became the go-to guy for impossible repairs. Broken night vision? He'd fix it with parts from a broken watch. Damaged vehicle radio? He'd rewire it using stripped cable from destroyed equipment. Command started giving him a box of random electronics on every patrol. Called it Morrison's magic kit. Resistors, capacitors, wire, anything he might need for field repairs. He once fixed a helicopter radio using components from a portable CD player one of the guys had brought from home. Pilot said it worked better than the original. Morrison's innovations spread throughout the battalion. Other communication specialists started carrying similar improvised repair kits. Success rate for equipment failures dropped dramatically. The military actually studied his techniques, incorporated some of his improvised methods into official training protocols. Now they teach soldiers basic electronics principles alongside standard maintenance procedures. Years later, Morrison works for NASA, designs backup systems for spacecraft. Says his military experience taught him that failure isn't the end, it's just the beginning of creative problem solving. That improvised radio is displayed in our unit's museum now. Looks like junk to most people, but everyone who served with Morrison knows better. It represents something crucial about military service. When your life depends on equipment, you learn to make anything work. Failure isn't an option, so innovation becomes survival.